Well, David was doing a conservation assessment of the collection, and a conservation assessment generally is looking at all of the individual pieces and filling out essentially a condition report, making a report on the condition of individual pieces, and then evaluating them for the kind of conservation treatment they might need so that they can be preserved for future generations, but also can be exhibited. So he would look at a particular sketch and see if it had any tears or staining and what would need to be done to the piece to make it stable so it could be preserved for future generations, but also to be handled and exhibited and shown publicly.
Things require treatment. Sometimes they require treatment because, as in this case, these pieces have come into the collection and they haven't been well cared for or stored. Plus, these are working drawings and they're not on archival material, so they deteriorate even faster.
So it was a process of working with David over the course of about a week. I would bring him a group of drawings or sketches, and he would look at each individual piece and fill out this report, and we would talk about what those pieces need, and then flip them over and front and back and do a comprehensive report on each individual piece. And the purpose of that is so that we have an understanding of the condition of each individual work in the collection.
By the time somebody brings something to me, it generally has a deterioration. Some of the deterioration is what we call inherent vice. The artist simply did not use good materials, good painting materials and techniques. And sometimes it's just the effects of time.
A large part of the collection had a lot of masking tape on the pieces. It looks as if part of Dr. John T. Bigger's process was to sketch a drawing or a figure and then use masking tape to tape it to a larger piece of paper, or tape it up on a wall, or tape it somewhere in some fashion, using materials he had at hand, which is masking tape. But masking tape over years, the adhesive dries out, the paper that the tape is made of gets incredibly brittle and yellow. The adhesive seeps into paper and the drawing itself and stains it. It's important to keep in mind that this was a working collection in the sense that it was never meant to be given to a museum or put in a museum or seen by the public in any fashion. It's the artist's creative process, and it represents his body of work from pretty much the entirety of his career and projects that he was working on. And so when he's doing things like sketching a small drawing and then using masking tape to tape it up, that's okay. It may not be archival or what we would be considered, museum preservation techniques, but that's fine because it wasn't meant to be that. And that's the beauty of the collection, is it really represents this moment in time in the artist's working process and what he's doing, and represents his methodology.
I look for tears. I look for residues of tape. I look for this kind of staining. I think this might have been someplace where it got a lot of sunlight. Conservation is important both as preventive care as well as actual treatment. If that doesn't happen, then we lose this artistic heritage. This is a large body of Bigger's work, and to lose it would be tragic. There's so much he's such a great artist, such a great draftsman. To be able to study these pieces and connect them with maybe completed murals would be a significant step in the history of American art.
Now that David's done, we will be selecting a number of pieces that we hope to have prepared via conservation treatment for exhibition. And then we will send those, pull those pieces, write a grant to get the money, hopefully, to conserve those pieces. Then the pieces would go to the conservation studio, and depending on the number of items we choose and what condition they're in, conservation can take anywhere from 4 to 6 months, depending. So our hope is to have the collection ready to show the public in 2025.
I sleep well at night because I know I'm helping save the work of what I think is a very important, very skilled artist, and that's very satisfying.
We are committed to doing the process appropriately and right, and taking the care and time with the collection that it demands.